My dear beloved, when the sun cracks open the sky like a ripe fig, when the birds raise their heads and sing their hallelujahs, when the winds kiss the earth with a soft hush and a whispered amen, you must rise not with haste but with purpose. And before you reach for your slippers, before your hand finds the coffee cup, before the world takes your attention hostage, you must pray first. Yes, baby, always pray first. The morning is not just a time. It is a miracle, a fresh chance, a brand new hallelujah. It is the Lord's whisper saying, I have awakened you again. What will you do with this breath I've given? And too many times, we rise with our minds already running, already chasing, already worrying, already burdened. But I say to you, my darling, do not let your feet find the floor before your soul finds its Father. There is a power in the stillness before the world wakes, a hush that holds heaven's ear wide open. In that sacred moment, when your eyes first blink against the breaking light, you have a choice. You can either lean into the noise or lean into the divine. I beg you, choose the divine. Always pray first, not second. Not after scrolling through news headlines or reading someone else's opinion of the world. Not after your mind is already entangled in the snares of the day. No, child. Let prayer be the gatekeeper of your morning. Let it be the oil that anoints your thoughts before they go wandering off into worry. Let it be the flame that burns off fear, and the rain that waters your peace. You see, prayer is not a ritual. It is a relationship. It is not the clanging of fancy words, but the cry of a heart hungry for God. It doesn't need to be eloquent. It needs to be honest. God isn't looking for your grammar. He's looking for your groan. He hears the language of your tears better than the language of your tongue. When you pray first, you are telling the universe where your allegiance lies. You're saying, before I speak to man, I'll speak to God. Before I act, I will anchor. Before I step out, I will stand still in the presence of the Almighty. And that changes everything. Oh, how it changes everything. There is a great dignity in morning prayer, a power that cannot be purchased and cannot be pretended. You clothe your soul in divine armor before the arrows fly. You gird your mind in truth before the lies arrive. You walk into the day like royalty, not because of your status, but because of your source. I have seen what it does to a person who prays first. Their spirit moves with grace, not haste. Their words bless instead of bite. Their eyes see more than what's in front of them. They see what's beyond, what's eternal, what's holy. They don't react to the world's fire. They carry heaven's water. And they pour it out on every flame that tries to consume them. Now listen. I know the temptation to run into your day with the urgency of to-do lists and deadlines. I know the pull of the clock, the phone, the kitchen, the schedule. But none of that is more urgent than your soul's alignment with its Creator. What does it profit a person to be productive but spiritually poor? What good is a full schedule and an empty spirit? Even 5 minutes, beloved, even 3, can turn chaos into calm. Even one whispered, Lord be with me, can set angels on assignment and shift the atmosphere around you. Don't despise small beginnings. Don't wait for perfect words or perfect time. Just begin. Just open your heart like a window and let God's light pour in. And what will happen when you do? You'll find that burdens feel lighter. That decisions seem clearer. That peace comes faster and lasts longer. You will notice that the small things don't shake you the way they used to. You won't need to clap back or prove your worth, because your soul has already been held by the one who knows your name. Some mornings, you may not have the strength to say much. Maybe life has knocked the wind out of you. Maybe sorrow is sitting on your chest like a weight too heavy to lift. Even then, baby, especially then, you must pray first. Groan, if that's all you can do. Whisper his name, even if it's all that comes out, because his power is not activated by your performance. It is released by your surrender. Let your pillow become your altar. Let your breath become your prayer. Let your tears become your incense. And let the morning sky hear your voice before it hears any other. For in that sacred act, when you choose God first, you are choosing to begin in victory. You are walking into your day with the King of Kings. You are choosing not to face the battles alone. You are aligning your mind, your motives, your minutes with the eternal plan of heaven. The world will come rushing in soon enough. The children will call. The emails will ding. The phone will buzz. The demands will rise. But for one moment before all that begins, you must choose to bow. Bow not in defeat, but in reverence. Bow to the one who holds your day in his hands. And as you lift your eyes to the hills, like the psalmist of old, you will hear the answer echo from heaven. Your help comes from the Lord. Not from your job, not from your bank account, not from your connections. From the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. That truth alone can carry you through. That truth can keep your heart soft when the world is hard. That truth can steady your feet on slippery places. That truth can remind you that you are never, ever alone. So, precious soul, I say it again, always pray first. Let that be your rhythm. Let it be your ritual. Let it be your revolution. Rise with prayer. Walk with prayer. End with prayer. And watch how the morning opens like a rose touched by dew, fragrant with the presence of God. And if you ever forget, if the day gets ahead of you and the moment slips away, don't fall into shame. Just pause and return. For prayer doesn't have an appointment. It is an open invitation, always waiting, always welcoming, always ready to meet you at the door. Pray first, and heaven will always answer. There is a question that echoes in the bones of every weary soul. Where does my help come from? It is the cry of the mother who wakes before the sun to make a way. It is the silent plea of the father whose hands are tired and calloused from labor. It is the question whispered by the broken, the lonely, the forgotten. And though the world may offer answers wrapped in shiny packages, bank accounts, degrees, positions, promises, none of it, child, none of it can hold you when the night gets too dark or the mountain too steep. So the psalmist lifts his eyes, not downward in despair, not inward in pride, but upward to the hills. There, etched against the skyline, is the answer bold and true. My help comes from the Lord. Yes, that's where it's always been. Not in the hustle, not in the hands of man, not in fleeting comfort, but in the eternal, unfailing hands of God. The one who doesn't sleep on the job, the one who doesn't blink and forget your name, the one who doesn't grow tired of hearing you cry. And when you finally realize this, truly realize it, not in your head, but in your marrow, it changes the way you walk. You stop begging at doors that were never yours to knock on. You stop shrinking under the weight of expectations you were never meant to carry. You stop panicking when the road bends, because you know the one who laid the path before you ever took a single step, the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth, is your help. Now listen to that title carefully, baby. He is not just your helper. He is the maker of heaven and earth. That means the sky that sings above you, the trees that clap their hands in the wind, the oceans that thunder with praise. They were all formed by him. And if he can hold the stars in place, surely he can hold you. If he can command the sea to stop at the shore, surely he can command peace over your troubled mind. If he can raise up mountains from the dust, surely he can raise you from your pain. Let that sink deep now. Let it press into the corners of your doubt. Your help comes from the Lord, not from luck, not from coincidence, not from people who pat you on the back today and forget your name tomorrow. Your help doesn't clock in late or check out early. It doesn't run dry or break down or fail in the midnight hour. The help of God is constant, steady, unshakable. It is like a well that never runs out, like a rock that never moves, like a fire that never dies. And this help This divine, holy, strong help. It doesn't always look the way you expect. Sometimes it comes as silence when you're praying for sound. Sometimes it comes as a no when you were begging for a yes. Sometimes it comes wrapped in disappointment that, with time, becomes deliverance. Because God's help is not about your comfort, it is about your calling. He helps you grow. He helps you stand. He helps you see what you could not see before. He opens doors no man can shut and shuts doors that would have destroyed you. He protects you from things you never even knew were coming. He holds you when you cry yourself to sleep and sings over you when the world gets too loud. That's the kind of help you have. And when you understand this, your heart can rest even when the storm rages. You can lift your eyes when everything around you is telling you to hang your head. You can stand tall when the weight of life wants you to crawl. Let me tell you, child, there have been nights I cried into my pillow asking, God, where is the help you promised? And I didn't get lightning. I didn't get thunder. I didn't get a booming voice from the clouds. I got breath. I got strength to get up. I got a little more grace to carry on, and that was help enough. Sometimes God's help is not loud. It's faithful. It's the breath in your lungs, the food on your table, the stranger who smiles at you just when you were feeling invisible, the verse that finds you when you weren't even looking, the peace that doesn't make sense, the courage to try again. Now let me speak to the one who's been depending on everything but God. The one who's been putting trust in people who don't even know how to trust themselves. The one who's been waiting for approval, for applause, for affirmation from the world. Let go. Lift your eyes. There is a greater source waiting to be your supply. A wellspring that never dries up. A refuge that cannot be shaken. You don't have to hustle for what heaven already promised. You don't have to prove yourself to receive what's already been prepared. Lift your eyes. Let your soul rise above the fog of fear and the clouds of confusion. Let your heart dare to believe that God's help is more than enough, that He is not just nearby. He is involved. He is invested. He is intimately aware of your every need. Your help comes from the Lord. Say it again until you believe it. Say it until it silences the voices of fear. Say it until your spirit stops shaking. Say it until the tears dry and the peace comes rushing in, because when you know where your help comes from, nothing can shake you. Not bad news, not betrayal, not the loss, not the waiting. You are anchored. So the next time life presses on your chest and asks you, what are you going to do now? You lift your chin, smile with holy confidence, and say, I'm going to lift my eyes because my help comes from the Lord. And baby, when help like that is on your side, you have no reason to fear, no reason to doubt, no reason to give up. Your help is not coming. It's already here. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. My, mig, what a tender, mighty promise that is. You see, life is a long walk. It stretches before us with peaks and valleys, bends and thorns. Sometimes you're walking on sunshine, and other times it feels like you're walking on broken glass barefoot. But this right here, this holy truth, is a comfort too sacred to ignore. The Lord will not let your foot slip. Oh yes, child, He's watching, always watching. Not like some distant judge in the clouds, frowning behind golden gates, but like a loving guardian at your side, like a mother whose ears are tuned to the cry of her child in the next room. He watches. Not occasionally, not when you've been especially righteous, not when you've dotted every and crossed every T. He watches you when you're tired. He watches you when you're confused. He watches when you're strong. And He watches when you feel like collapsing under the weight of it all. You could be on a mountain or crawling through a dark alley of sorrow. Still, He does not slumber. Can you imagine that? Can you wrap your weary soul around it? That while the world sleeps, While lovers lie breathing next to one another and the city goes silent beneath the stars, God remains awake. For you, not because he's anxious. No, not because he fears what tomorrow might bring. He is not like man. He stays awake because his eyes never leave you. He watches your coming and your going. He watches the path before you and the path behind. He watches not to accuse, but to protect, not to condemn, but to catch you when you stumble. And, oh beloved, how many times have we stumbled? How many times have we misstepped in the dance of life? How many moments have we leaned on the wrong thing, trusted the wrong voice, loved the wrong people, chosen the wrong road? Yet our foot, though it trembled, did not fall completely. You might have wobbled, but you didn't crash. You may have cried, but you were still carried. You may have doubted, but you were still delivered. Because the one who watches over you never sleeps on the job. He's not like those who promised to stay but left. Not like those who said they had your back, only to disappear when the storm rolled in. Not like the friend who stopped answering. Not like the love who stopped loving. God is not moved by drama or distance or your mistakes. He is steadfast. He is awake. And there is something else, something beautifully quiet about this truth. When you finally know, deep down in your soul, that God is watching you with love and not suspicion, everything changes. You walk a little taller. You breathe a little easier. You stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. You stop bracing for heartbreak at every turn. Because you know that your steps are ordered, your footing is guided, and even when you don't understand where you're going, the one who walks with you knows exactly where he's leading you. Now let me speak plainly to the soul who's been stumbling lately. You with the heavy heart and the silent questions. You who feels like the ground beneath you is shifting, like the rug has been pulled out and nobody noticed. You may be walking through something that makes no sense. You may feel like you're one step from falling into something you can't crawl back out of. But here is what I know: God has not left you, not even for a second. He's not blinking. He's not dozing. He's not attending to someone else more important. He is watching over you. And though your foot may tremble, it will not slip into destruction. You are held by unseen hands, guarded by grace, surrounded by favor. This is not poetic fluff. It's the hard truth wrapped in velvet. When you thought you wouldn't make it through, he was there. When your hands were too weak to hold on, it was his hands holding you. When the world forgot your name, heaven still sang it. And when you rise each morning, when your eyelids flutter open and you're unsure how to take the first step again, he is already watching, already preparing your path, already walking ahead of you and behind you, already covering what you can't even see. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't rest. He doesn't miss a beat. Now pause. Breathe that in. Because if you really knew how constantly and fiercely he watches over you, you'd worry less and worship more. You'd panic less and pray more. You'd stop fearing the cracks in the road and start dancing over them. Because you'd know, deeply know, that nothing surprises your God. Nothing sneaks past him. No danger is hidden. No enemy too clever. He sees it all, and he protects. So when you feel shaky, unsure of what's next, say this out loud: He will not let my foot slip. He is watching over me, and he does not slumber. Say it until fear gives up. Say it until peace floods in. Say it until you remember who walks beside you in the shadow, who lifts you up in the pit, who whispers hope into your darkest night. You are not alone, darling. You have never been alone, and the eyes that form the galaxies are the same eyes fixed on your life, your journey, your very next step. Take it courage, with faith, with reverence, because even if your path gets steep, even if the night gets long, even if your legs tremble under the weight of it all, the Lord, your keeper, your father, your friend, he will not let you fall, and he will not rest until you are safely home. There are some words, honey, that wrap themselves around you like a quilt stitched by the hands of angels. They don't just sit on the page. They settle in your bones. And this line, this beautiful, blessed line, is one of thing. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. Now, don't read that too fast. Don't skip past it like it's just another verse, because it is not simply poetry. It is a promise. And oh, what a promise it is. Life can be hot, child. Not just hot like a July sun, but hot like pressure. Hot like expectation. Hot like anxiety breathing down your neck. Some days you wake up and the heat hits you before your feet even touch the ground. The weight of everything you're carrying, the deadlines, the bills, the heartbreak, the invisible burdens no one sees, burns you from the inside out. You feel exposed, unprotected, worn down. But the Lord, yes, the Lord, is your shade. Now what is shade but a mercy in the heat, a cool breath when everything around you is sweltering? Shade doesn't remove the sun. It just protects you from its harm. That's what God does. He doesn't always take the pressure away, but He keeps it from consuming you. He doesn't stop the fire, but He ensures it won't destroy you. He is the covering you didn't know you needed. You see, in ancient days, the right hand was considered the hand of action, of power, of decision-making. So when the scripture says He is shade at your right hand, it means He is protecting the very part of you that moves, that works. God isn't standing off in the distance watching from afar. He is close, right there, at your side, shielding you as you go about your day. You don't always see Him, but you feel His presence. In the way you hold on when you should have broken down. In the way you find words of grace when anger was ready to speak. In the way your peace remains intact, even when chaos comes knocking. That's God being your shade. When the heat rises, when criticism scorches, when grief blisters, when confusion feels like a sunburn on your soul. He is the hand stretched over you. He doesn't block the light of your journey. He blocks the harm. He lets you shine without letting the fire singe your purpose. And then there's this part. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. Now that right there is something holy, because too many of us think danger only comes when it's loud and obvious, when it's daytime, when the world can see it coming. But the moon child, the moon carries a different kind of danger, a quiet danger, a nighttime sorrow. It is the fear that creeps in the dark, the regrets that whisper, the shadows that stretch longer in the silence. The moon brings the loneliness of the 2 a.m. tears, the H that won't be posted, the battles fought in the mind while the world sleeps. But the Word says, even then, He covers you. He protects you not just from what the world sees, but from what the world can't see. He guards you in the light of your labor and in the darkness of your despair. He shields your steps in the bright hours of action and the still hours of longing. Whether it's day or night, sunshine or shadow, God is God. He is unchanging, and so is His protection. Now I know someone out there is thinking, but if He's protecting me, why do I still feel pain? Ah, but child, protection does not mean a pain-free life. It means the pain won't be pointless. It won't be permanent. And it surely won't be your end. God's shade is not about stopping every tear. It's about making sure the tears don't wash away your joy. God's protection is not a bubble that keeps you untouched. It's a covering that keeps you unshaken. There are things you survived that should have taken you out. I know it. You look back and see the heat of betrayal, the scorching tongue of gossip, the blistering weight of depression, and yet you are here, standing, breathing, speaking, living. That is the shade of God. That is the moonlight peace He gave you when anxiety stole your sleep. That is the cooling balm He applied when anger tried to harden your heart. That is the breath of God brushing across spirit saying, "You are still mine. You are still covered. He is your shade. So don't be afraid to walk forward. Don't fear the sun of responsibility. Don't run from the moon of solitude. You are not walking through this life alone and unguarded. No, you are walking under divine shade. You are protected in the blaze of the day and the silence of the night. You are wrapped in promise. You are held in unseen arms. You are cradled in a covenant older than time. Even when you forget He's there, He remains. Even when you falter, He stands. Even when you stumble, He shadows over you like the wings of an eagle spread wide. So lift your face to the light, knowing it cannot harm you. Lift your hands to the heavens, knowing you are not uncovered. Lift your heart to God, knowing He has already gone before you and stands beside you. He is not just your God in the temple. He is your God on the sidewalk, in the meeting room, at the stove, in the hospital, in the silence. He does not slumber. He does not step away. He does not disappear when the night falls. The sun shall not harm you by day. The moon shall not harm you by night. And that, my dear, is a promise only heaven can make and only God can keep. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. He will watch over your coming and your going both now and forevermore. Now, if that don't make your soul stand up and sing, then baby, read it again. Because that right there, that's not a soft word. That's not a temporary comfort or a passing promise. That's a declaration. That's heaven speaking security over your life with the boldness of thunder and the softness of a mother's lullaby. He will keep you. Do you know what it means to be kept? To be held, to be preserved, protected, and surrounded on every side. Not just on the good days when you're smiling and dressed just right, when your prayers are eloquent and your praise is strong. No, not just then, but on the bad days too, on the messy, tired, broken days, when your soul is quiet and your faith feels more like a whisper than a shout. Even then, He is keeping you, and not just from the harm you see coming, not just from the loud, flashing danger with sirens and warning signs, but from the subtle harm, the sneaky harm, the harm you didn't even know was on its way. He blocks arrows that never make it to your doorstep. He reroutes attacks that were never announced. He sends angels into intersections you never knew were there, standing between you and the edge of destruction. You've got to understand something, baby. You are here. Not because you were lucky, not because you were slick, not because you outsmarted the odds. You are here because God kept you. You were kept through the heartbreak, kept through the betrayal, kept through the long nights and the unanswered questions, kept when you didn't even want to be kept. Yes, Lord, He kept you anyway. And the Word says He watches over your life, not just your spirit on Sundays, not just your church self, not just the version of you that knows which scripture to quote and which mask to wear, but your life, your waking and sleeping, your working and weeping, your rising and stumbling, the whole thing, the dirty dishes, the doctor's report, the traffic jam, the laughter at the dinner table, the silence in your bedroom. He is watching over all of it, and not as a spectator, not as a judge from the bleachers, but as a keeper, a shepherd, a father who knows every hair on your head and every thought in your heart, a redeemer who sees the cracks in your soul and calls them beautiful anyway, a provider who supplies strength when you've spent all your own. He watches over your life with intention. You don't have to beg for His attention. You don't have to perform for His love. He's already watching, tenderly, constantly, fully. Watching when you take the wrong turn and when you find your way back. Watching when the tears fall and when the laughter returns. Watching when you forget to pray and when you fall to your knees with nothing left to say. And this part, child, this part will bless your bones. He watches your coming and your going. Oh yes, every entrance and every exit, every hello and every goodbye, every beginning and every ending, every door you open and every one that slams in your face. He is watching. When you step into new seasons with trembling hands, He's there. When you walk out of places that no longer serve you, He's there. When you move forward and when you turn back, when you run and when you crawl, He is still there. You are never beyond His gaze, never outside His reach, never lost to His eyes. And don't you miss this last part now, both now and forevermore, because this is not a temporary arrangement. This is not some short-term contract that expires when the days get too dark or the years get too long. No, beloved, this is eternal, infinite, irrevocable. This is forever kind of love, forever kind of faithfulness, forever kind of covering. It means when you're young and trying to figure life out, He's watching. When you're older and feeling tired in your bones, He's watching. When the calendar flips and the years stack high, when the memories fade and your body grows weary, He is still watching, still keeping, still loving. His care for you doesn't wear out, doesn't grow thin, doesn't get distracted. And even when your final breath leaves your lungs, even when this life gives way to the next, His watch does not end. His love does not dim. He will carry you from this world to the next with the same tenderness that held you on your very first morning, because that's the kind of God He is. So when fear comes knocking, don't answer. When anxiety rises like a flood, stand still. When questions swirl and doubts shout, remember this promise. You are kept. Kept in your going out and your coming in. Kept in your laughing and your crying. Kept in your building and in your breaking. Kept in your confusion and your clarity. Kept when the crowd surrounds you and when you're all by yourself. You are not kept by your own strength. You are not kept by chance or charm. You are kept by the hand of the Almighty. The Lord is not a part-time protector. He is not a sometimes savior. He is not a once-in-a-while kind of God. He is always, all the way, forevermore. And that, my dear, is the most beautiful truth to carry with you. At sunrise, at midnight, in joy, in sorrow. Wrap it around you like a cloak. Speak it to your soul when it forgets. Hold it close when the storms rise. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. He will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore. Amen.